Yeah, you can start. So,
After a short break, I am very eager to call CA Chandrasekhar Kutty sir to know about indirect taxation.
How the government works now. They have given interest increase for affordable housing 3.5 lakhs.
1.5 lakh extra.
So look at the calculation, brainy people know. 45 lakhs is the cost of the house. Government will give you, bank will give you how much? 80% funding? 40 lakhs loan. What is the rate of interest going on now for house? 6.5 to 7%?
7%.
How much it will come? It will come 3.5 lakhs? It will not come 3 lakhs also. This is how it works. All artificial. So like that there are many provisions. Now if you see one by one, you will know how the provisions have changed in GST. Now retrospective amendment. Okay. To include activities by an association to its members. Now retrospective amendment. Yeah. This retrospective amendment, you have heard of Vodafone case, right? Which is going on. Our great Pranab Mukherjee, finance minister, he introduced a retrospective amendment just because they lost a case, Vodafone case in Supreme Court. So they changed the law. That is also from retrospective effect. So in the Congress party itself, many people objected. Sonia Gandhi objected, Manmohan Singh objected. They told, don't do this because the name of our country will get spoiled, investors will not come. But Pranavji, he went ahead, did that retrospective amendment, and then they lost election. And this government came with a theme telling they will not do any retrospective amendment. Okay, this was there in their manifesto also. They will not do any retrospective amendment. All will be prospective if any change is there. Here you will see what they are doing. This association of persons, okay, this is going on since service tax era, where government is held bound telling if there is association of persons, there are members. What is this association of persons? Association of person is people come together for their own benefit. They don't make profit, they don't have any business motive. They come together to do work for themselves. So Supreme Court, in the case of Calcutta Club Limited, the case was between West Bengal government and Calcutta Club Limited. Supreme Court passed a judgment in 2019. These cases were there in Rotary Club and Lions Club also, which High Courts have already given judgment in service tax. And this latest judgment in 2019, Supreme Court has told there is no relationship or there is no service which members give or the association gives to the members. So members give money to association. So there is no service element. They do for themselves. It is like 10 of my friends go to a hotel. Hotel bill comes and we share. There is nothing service element in this. So what we do, we officially form an association rather than taking money. We form an association. Yearly once we take money and we go to the hotel. Association where it's giving any service to the members. Supreme Court has told. Now see a beautiful amendment what has come. Okay. Retrospective amendment from 1st July 2017, the date when the GST was implemented. So they have included this definition of in the supply definition itself. So they have told, see, even if what is tax in GST? GST supply is tax. There has to be a supply. So there has to be a supply. Here they have deemed it as a supply. Even if there is no supply, government is saying this is supply. The activities or transactions by a person other than an individual to its members or constituents or vice versa for cash, deferred payment or other valuable consideration. So they have told this is a deemed supply. So any transaction by person other than an individual to its members. So they have told that is a supply. Now look at the beautiful explanation what they have given. An explanation has also been included to effect that notwithstanding anything contained in any other law for the time in force or any judgment So they have told any Supreme Court judgment also it's invalid. Decree or order of any court, tribunal, or authority, the person and members of constituent should be deemed to be two separate persons. So they have told association and members are two different persons. Deemed to take place from one such person to another. So this is the irony. Even if court passes a judgment in the favor of SSE, government comes, amends the law retrospectively, even though this will be challenged. I am 100% sure this is going to be challenged. Such kind of amendments, it's not accepted, it will be challenged. So anyway, this is one kind of amendment what they have done. So this is not very material. So there is a schedule 2 which says what are goods, what are services. So in schedule 2, any service by an association to its members was deemed to be service. So that clause they have removed because it has been directly added as a supply note. This is one more beautiful amendment they got. Additional condition introduced to avail ITCs. Now, what are the conditions to be met to get input tax credit in GST? 4 conditions are there. What are the conditions? 4 conditions should be there to take input tax credit. What are the 4 conditions?
Good should be able.
First, you should have a tax invoice or a debit note. Right? Second is, you should have received those goods or services. Right? Third is, supplier should have paid the tax. Now you tell me how you will find out whether supplier has paid the tax. You please tell me how supplier can, how a customer will know supplier has paid the tax. Anyone please give me some gyan. Okay, you have to go to the supplier's office, open his computer and see whether he has made tax payment. Otherwise, how it's possible?
No, taxpayer that this option is available now, whether he filed the returns.
How you know where his tax, when we paid tax? GSTR 1 he might have filed.
No, 3B is there, na? If
How
he
you know
filed,
whether 3B your tax he has paid?
no, if it is 3B is filed means he has paid the tax, whether input or whatever it may be.
We will know.
You will see 3B has got consolidated figure. He will not know whether you have paid your tax, his tax, 3B is consolidated figure. Okay, supplier you will not know whether he has paid. What is the 4th condition?
Filing return.
Filing return. Who has to file the return?
Yes, sir.
Customer has to file it. That is, person who is claiming the ITC has to file the return. So these 4 conditions are there. Okay. Third condition, okay, that is never it has come. GSTR 1, GSTR 2, GSTR 3 or not there. 2, 3 never came. That was the method to find out whether he has paid. That has never come. Now, they introduced something called Rule 36(4). You can claim up to 2A. First 9th October 2019, they came out with a provision telling 20% of excess of 2A you can claim. Right? Everybody knows about it, right? 36(4). That was challenged in the court because when the section says only 4 conditions, how you can bring this through rule? Because rule is something which it has to come to follow the act. You cannot make your own act in the rule. So that 36(4) was challenged, but anyway, the cases are going on. They reduced that 20% to 10% from 1st January 2000, not 21, 20. And then from this 1/1/2021, they reduced to 5%. Right? Now, beautifully they have added the 4 conditions, they have added one more condition. What they have told is, the supplier has to, the details of the invoice has been furnished by the supplier, so supplier has to file GSTR 1 and such details have been communicated to the recipient in GSTR 2A. Now they have made a law, that is 36(4) rule. Now the case is going on, they know they are going to lose. So they have brought in act only. So they have told supplier has to file GSTR 1, you have to get a credit in 2A, then only you can claim. So what is going to happen? This is going to get effective from 1/4/2021. 5% also will go now. Whatever in 2A, you can claim ITC. Whatever is not in 2A, you cannot claim. Right? So now you have to run behind your supplier and say, please file your returns to get credit. They have started some new scheme of filing return for quarterly filing. So he will file quarterly. How you will take ITC monthly? You should also take ITC quarterly only. So practical problem. One good news for everybody. They have abolished GST audit. Bad news for us, good news for you. Right? So GST audit is abolished. That is 9C form is gone. No more 9C form. 35 which talks about GST audit is deleted. They have amended annual return. So annual return GSTR 9 what you filed, that has to be filed along with self-certified copy of reconciliation statement and audited annual financial statement. So it is self-certificate. Now we need not certify GSTR return. It will be self-certified, but they will come out with a notification telling above this turnover audited annual account and reconciliation statement has to be uploaded. Right? But practically tell me, this is a good news for you or bad news? You think whether removing this provision is a good news for you or a bad news for you? GST audit is gone. Is it a good news for you or bad news for you? Because we have seen in last 2 years, GST audits what we are doing. Most of the cases, they don't take ITC properly. Outward supplies are not shown properly. There is a reconciliation process which happens. Whatever ITC not claimed, we try to claim it through some adjustments, some tinkering. And if there is any outward supply, we try to pay that also. So what happens during the audit time of GST audit itself, you rectify everything, fine. So when the department scrutiny comes, yours everything is rectified, you have got the calculations ready. Now what will happen is, GST audits from the department side. Now there will be audit from the department side which will come after 2-3 years. And they will not give you any ITC benefit. And outward supply also 3 years, 4 years, if you don't pay that interest itself will come to almost the tax amount. So my suggestion is, even if though our institute is going behind them and requesting them, that is a totally different thing, but reconcile when you are filing GSTR 9, ensure you file everything properly and all your ITC and outward supplies are taken correctly so that in future there is no liability. So that I think one thing you have to ensure, otherwise it's a good news. This also will be coming from 1/4/2021. So for 1920, GST audit is certificate. These are some very complicated things which government has brought. See, this is the trust deficit I was telling you. They don't trust the taxpayers now. And this is the trust deficit. See how much stringent the penalties have gone now. You know about the e-way bills, the transportation of goods, how the GST department is catching you on the check post, or no, there is no check post, but they have created their own check post. They catch e-way bill, with small mistakes they detain your vehicle, and then they tell you to pay penalty, tax, then only they will release the goods. Small mistakes, right? Currently, you have to pay tax and penalty equal to 100% of the tax, then only they will release the vehicle. Small mistakes, e-way bill, they might have done some small here and there. For that they catch, they detain the vehicle and they leave you only after you pay tax and penalty. Now you see what you have to pay. Proposed amendment to this law. If the owner comes forward, now see this also is so arrogance, no? If the owner comes forward and says, I accept my mistake, there is one penalty. If owner says, no, I don't accept my mistake, there is one more penalty, okay? So now I am telling, I come forward and pay. So if owner comes forward, 200% of the tax payable is penalty and tax amount anyway you have to pay. That means, if 1 crore worth of goods are going in the truck and he finds out there is a small mistake, 200% of the tax payable, 18% towards the tax. So 36 lakhs is the penalty I have to pay. and 18 lakhs is additional which tax amount also added, right? So 54 lakhs I have to pay, then only he will release the goods. This is if I accept, this is my mistake, sir, right? If I say I don't accept, then you will say, see, tell me whether you accept or not, otherwise I know what to do. So if you don't accept, then 50% of the value of the goods or 200% of the tax payable, whichever is higher. So in this case, 1 crore goods, 50% of the value is 50 lakhs. So I have to pay 50 lakhs penalty plus 18 lakhs tax with small mistake. This is what, now tell me what will happen with this? All the vehicles will be caught, corruption will increase. Right? Because this nobody can pay. Who can pay? Because still it is coming further. If the vehicle is released also, if you have to file an appeal, 25% of this amount of the penalty has to be paid appeal. Then only you can appeal. So don't fight in the higher ups. You have to pay 25%, then only you can go. See, what is this? You are penalizing a person. They have told, okay, now these are the procedural aspect. They told if the vehicle is detained, they should issue notice within 7 days. If notice is issued within 7 days, order should be passed. So this they have made some timelines. Appeal can be filed only if 25% of the penalty in order is paid. So you cannot appeal unless you pay 25%. And again, if you come forward and you fight and you don't pay, within 15 days they can sell the goods, recover the money, clear of the penalty, tax payment, balance amount is they give it. Okay? So that also they given. So for the transporter they given some benefit. They have told, see, the goods are stuck. With the vehicle, goods is there, lying there. So transporter is getting affected because of that. So they told, let the goods be there. Transporter can take the vehicle, 1 lakh rupees or penalty, whichever is less. Pay. Who has to pay this? Transporter has to pay. He doesn't what he will do. He is just carrying the document. For that, 1 lakh rupees. Then only his vehicle will be released. See, look at this provision. This all she told in the budget meeting, the budget session. No, this all was there in the act. Now, interest payable, some clarity has come on cash liability. Okay, this clarity has come because confusion also was created with the money. So, confusion also, clear also, again confusion. See, when the model GST law was there, it was very clear. Tax should be, interest should be only on net. Then some midnight somebody was writing the law, he didn't write it properly. So there was a confusion whether gross or net. Okay, then now 39th GST Council meeting last year they told, no, it is very clear it should be only on net. Right? Then they told it should be retrospective. That is from 1st July only it will be net. Then they amended the act, they told it's prospective. See, confusion they only create. They tell something, do something. Then finally now in the budget, they have proposed it will be on the net from 1st July 2007. So the act itself now made clear it should be retrospective and only on the cash portion. This is one more beauty. Now, you are having a company is there, okay? You have to pay some tax dues. Whose property it should attach? Olden law till now, till the budget it was, who has to pay the taxable person, his property has to be attached. Very clear, very simple. Now they have changed the rule, act itself. Any person, see not only taxable person, they can attach the property of any person. That means the director of the company, the auditor of the company, the company secretary of the company, anybody's asset they can now attach. Look at the fun part. Somebody is not paid, somebody has property is attached here. A person means who retains the benefit of a transaction and at whose instance such transaction is conducted. So it should be he should have got some benefit or he should be involved in that transaction. How you prove you don't know. What are those transactions? It is like if you supply goods or services without invoice or incorrect false invoice. So fake invoicing or there is no invoice but you supply goods. You invoice but you don't supply goods or service. So it's the opposite. And you take or utilize ITC without actual receipt of goods. So in these situations, property can be attached. This is the last form. Refunds. I don't know how many of them are taking refunds now, but there are quite big companies who take refunds. So there are basically two types of refunds you can claim, right? One is you supply, you export. You export without IGST, you export with IGST, right? So if you export without IGST, means you don't charge IGST, you export and all the input tax credit you can claim as refund. The second option is with IGST, that is you charge the bill and you get the tax portion as the refund. Once you file return, you adjust whatever your inputs are there, you pay the balance amount and you get the whole input tax, all the IGST what you paid, you take as a refund. So there are two methods allowed. Till now, corruption has not gone, it has reduced drastically because most of them was electronic and too much of handshaking was not required. Now what amendment they have done is, they have told this IGST portion, if you supply with IGST, they will not give you refund, not allowed as a blanket. They will tell which people, which goods and services IGST refunds you can get. So they are going to tell now which people are eligible under this scheme, otherwise all other people it is refund of ITC accumulated only. And got the news also, okay, they are going to amend they are going to come out with a circular telling what is the procedure to claim the refund of accumulated ITC also separately, which is going to become more manual now, where it was more technology, it is going to become more manual, you know what is going to happen. Right? It's going to take time and it is going to cost money also. So it's not going to be easy, and that is what is technology. See, when say GST is going to become technology enabled, now most of the things are now becoming offline. Like detention of goods, you are telling it's becoming offline. Most of the things now they have started giving the powers, lot of powers to the officers. Now officers actually know registration, what is happening? Registration before everything was online. Now registrations you cannot do online. You have to go, the officer will call you for a tea. You have to sit with him for having tea and then you know what happens. So now everywhere again the manual intervention has started, even though they say faceless, but most of the things now it is happening with manual intervention. So section 6 amended. So again goods, there was no condition to you have to receive money. Only for services there was a condition. Now if you claim refund for exports of goods, they are told the payment has to come for the export of goods within the prescribed FEMA limit. If it is crosses FEMA limit, you have to give back that refund amount to the department with interest. So how was the GST amendments? This is the only amendment they have done. They have not done anything good. See, from this you can make out how much high-handedness is there, how much they believe the taxpayers. And this I am not blaming the central government for it. These GST decisions are taken by GST Council. Right, so I am 100% pretty sure when this discussion might have happened, states also might have got involved. But it comes. How a person can do business? Because if you see your vehicle is detained at least once in a year, the whole profit of that goes in the detention. Just imagine, no? And what happens? They pay tax in some other registration. You cannot adjust against your taxes in your registration. Suppose it is in Maharashtra, Maharashtra will not accept you. Actually, the rule is if Maharashtra GST officers get your vehicle and document is not correct, they have to inform your registration if your document has your registration number. But they don't do that. Maharashtra, Karnataka, what they do? They tell you to take a temporary registration in that particular state. And once you take temporary registration, that is Karnataka or Maharashtra GST, you cannot do anything sitting here. That money is gone forever. You have to file appeal only and get it. So these are the very, very stringent laws. I think we are going through very bad times in GST. When you say that GST has to be simplified, they are making it more complicated. Like if you see in income tax, even though he told, but then that TCS, TDS, they never time to find out okay, who has to deduct TDS, who has to deduct TCS, whether he will deduct TCS. He is telling you deduct TDS because for government it is good. Right? But why we have to think about the government? We have to think about our business. See, nobody thinks about that. Now businessman is taken as a last priority. I think compliance has taken over everything. I am little harsh on this government, but the provisions and I think the laws are becoming such that you are forced to talk like this. But hope one day the sense will prevail and things will change. So with this, I close my session so that next session we can talk a little bit better about this.